Welcome everybody to this demo on Airbtics presented by Jay from, where are you based, Jay?
Currently, I'm in Bali right now. So yeah, I've been like working in different locations in the past few years.
Okay, wonderful. So thank you very much for joining us on this demo and looking forward to seeing your product and how it can help different people on their journeys, their SDR journeys. Okay, so before we start the demo, as I ask everybody a few questions, please can you provide an overview of your company and the primary products or services you offer for hosts?
Right. So Airbtics. So I started this business about 5 years ago. So I was an Airbnb host / software developer. So I was looking for a best place to start on Airbnb in the UK. And I wanted to understand which areas has high occupancy rate, high revenues. So I started gathering the data, and that's how Airbtics was started. So the service we are offering is we help people to start Airbnb smarter using the actual historical data from Airbnbs. So you can compare multiple markets to find the best places to start an Airbnb. You can explore what neighborhoods has the highest occupancy rate within a city, and you can find out how much you can make with the different property types and with different amenities using our platform.
Awesome. Which of the following does your product or service specialize in? Short, mid, or long-term rentals?
We are focusing on short-term rentals.
Short-term rentals. Awesome.
Yeah.
What sets your product or service apart from competitors in the market, and what are your unique selling points?
So our tools are very customizable and hyper location specific. So for a specific city, so when it comes to running on Airbnb, location matters a lot if you're starting it, if you have an option to start in different locations. So for example, if you're starting on Airbnb in a beach destination, the somewhere that has the beachfront property versus something that's 2 or 3 like blocks away from the beach will make completely different revenues and occupancy rate. So with traditional tools, those kind of the location specific analysis might be quite challenging. But using our tool, you can get the exact data with our heat map or clusters view in our map to see how the revenues of short-term rentals are changing in micro neighborhood levels.
Okay. And what levels of technical expertise is required to use your product or service effectively? And do you provide any training or support to help hosts get started?
So we currently don't offer any one-on-one onboardings, but we have some like webinar videos or tutorials on YouTube. So this tool is supposed to be used by any experience level who ever familiar with like using an Airbnb. However, our tool might have been gone a little bit overcomplicated over the past few months as we keep releasing new features. So we are always looking to get the feedback to simplify our app as well.
Okay. And can you give me 2 or 3 common challenges that your product or service addresses, specific challenges faced by hosts, such as, trying to find the right markets, perhaps legislation, any of those kind of things, price optimization? What are the 2 or 3 most common challenges that you address?
So first, which market should I start on Airbnb and why? And second, inside a specific area, a specific city, which neighborhoods should I buy or rent a property to start an Airbnb? So those are the most common questions we are addressing.
How does your pricing model work? Are there any setup fees, monthly subscriptions, or additional costs that hosts should be aware of?
So it is $119 per month, or it is $30 per month with a yearly subscription. That is the fee.
Okay. And what level of customization or flexibility does your product or services cater to the unique needs of different hosts and their properties?
So if you want to analyze market data, you can use our custom market drawing tool to create custom markets that define the exact neighborhoods or boundaries that your short-term rental business is relevant to. So that's the one customization that you can make. Also, if you're a host looking to acquire more properties, if you're a vacation rental management companies, you can create reports, revenue estimation reports, and the report will show you how much a listing can make in a specific location with various comparable, like composite data. You can customize these reports with your own brand, own logo, and you can make some customization in this report.
And so just when you, because obviously it's accessing historical data, how do you add a sort of a factor into the current market trends? How does that work? For example, the dollar has now been changed its dynamics. How does the software accommodate that kind of information?
Right. So actually, that's something we haven't thought about it much about the currency changes, but we do track all the values in US dollar. So if the dollar has weakened against to, let's say, euros, this might have showing a little bit different trend, but at the same time, I think that will not actually the currency shouldn't matter because we are gathering the data on a real time. So every week we get the calendar data on how much they priced and convert them into US dollar and store that value. So
okay. And what kind of customer support do you offer?
So we have a one customer support person who reads email every day, and actually I also read customer support emails almost every day as well, and I do respond to those emails between 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Singapore time.
Okay. And how user-friendly and intuitive is your platform?
So actually, that's something that I haven't got the good objective feedbacks yet. I haven't asked those questions to our users. So I think there's a huge room for improvement in user friendliness.
Awesome.
But we do our best to make it friendly.
Is there anything else you would like to add that sets your product or service apart from, and that you think is valuable for hosts to know?
Sorry, I didn't catch your question.
Is there anything else that you would like to add that you think sets your product or service apart and that you think is very valuable for hosts to know?
Right. So currently we have ideas, but we are not trying to do something other than Airbnb revenue estimation to stay in focus. So we are trying to make our revenue estimation more accurate. We are trying to show the more detailed data about anything that can affect the revenues. There are some feature ideas like helping hosts to optimize the listings with some help with the AI, but we don't have any plans to work on those things yet. in the near future.
Okay, and so what are the okay? So I mean, you kind of answered that as well, but I'll just ask the question anyway. What are the future scopes of the product or service?
So currently, we are focusing on investors or rental arbitragers, whoever thinking of starting on Airbnb. So we are thinking of adding the scope in two different directions. One direction is adding more useful data for the investors, such as the city development plans or city tourism trends, things like that, which is more useful to know for people who are looking to buy properties, so that they can enjoy the appreciation, but also the short-term rental cash flow. Another vertical that we'd like to add the scope in the long run is for the Airbnb hosts to grow their business better using the data. Not the pricing is already has been addressed really well with the few established dynamic pricing softwares, but there's the listing optimizations or distribution parts that could get some help from the data as well. So that's something we'd like to look into.
Awesome. So yeah, let's take us through your product. We'd love to see it.
All right. So let me share the screen.
So if I'm, let's say, a rental arbitrager in Cape Town, South Africa, and I want to
Right.
find out which villa configuration will be the best, a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom or more, and which area gets the most value. Can you estimate those?
Yeah, that sounds like a good use case. So first of all, you mentioned Cape Town in South Africa.
Yeah,
So
Cape Town, South Africa.
you can check few markets in South Africa.
So I would do
To
Johannes, Durban, 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 yeah.
so I'd recommend those people to take just 1 minute to check the data of other cities as well, whether you were open or not, because it just takes a minute to get the data of all the different markets. So you can quickly see the data like occupancy rate, average daily rate. So occupancy rate means how much percentage of nights has been booked for a typical listing in Cape Town. So, and ADR, average daily rate, is how much a listing charged in Cape Town. This one excludes cleaning fees or service fees. Just the nightly fee was charged at $89 per day. You can change the currency as well. And then you can see the regulations as well by scrolling to the right side. It'll show you whether regulation is lenient or strict.
Okay. I was about to ask because that's a big tool that is very important.
Yeah, I agree with that. How we get is simply checking the percentage of listings that has put their license details on their Airbnb listings. So if more than the half of the listings have put their license details, then we consider to be a strict market. If not, we consider to be a lenient market.
Got you. That makes sense. Yeah. And in South Africa, there aren't any licenses needed. So that means it would be lenient because there would be less licenses input into the system. Makes sense.
Right. Yeah, and you can see how the supply, the number of listings has changed in this market, or average daily rate. So these kind of the changes will show the trend on how things are heading towards to. You can filter by number of bedrooms as well. So you can see how much they're making for 2 bedrooms versus 3 bedrooms, and so on. And then getting back to your first questions about Cape Town. You can search for a market, but if you can't find a market, you can simply draw a market by clicking this button as well. But in this demo, we'll go to Cape Town.
Are you able to differentiate between a villa and an apartment?
No, currently, unfortunately, that's a feature that we are looking to add. However, we can't differentiate between apartment and villa, but we do differentiate between entire house listing and private rooms listings. So in the Cape Town, if you want to get which neighborhood does well, you can use this heat map feature, and you can change this to revenue to see which areas have the highest revenues. So these few areas stand out the most. So once you find the specific areas, you can zoom in. And once you zoom in enough, you'll be able to see the listings within this area.
So if we take if we zoom out and let's zoom into one of the hotspots areas on the left-hand side, I'll show
Right.
you. So go left. Okay, so go up a little bit and stop in that area there.
Right.
So there's a hotspot there just near their greens.
Right. So yeah, these areas looks like a hotspot.
Yeah.
So
let's choose one of those. Not that one. Let's go to the other side. The one on the left. Sorry, my apologies. The one near the ocean, because I'm interested to see how that works. South Africa being my hometown, so I know it very well. That's why I'm asking these questions. I'm interested to see the data and what it says.
right.
So yeah, exactly. So you can choose. There's 3 there, so you can choose 3. Any one of those 3 hotspots would be great, and then let's see how the data works with it.
Yep. So in this hotspot, you can explore the data with the listing level. So you can use the filter. Let's say you want to specialize with 2-bedroom properties. Once you apply the filter, you'll be able to see the 2-bedroom listings. So you can check their data from different locations. And you can see how much they made in the last 12 months. So this is the occupancy rate.
I see it swapped the currency again. Can you put it back to the other currency?
Yeah. So is this the South African currency?
Yeah, exactly. ZAR. Yeah, no, you had it perfectly. Just
right. So you can see the property level data to see how much each of the listings are making in this specific hotspot.
It's saying that in that specific hotspot, a 2-bedroom, because we've got a filter on, is making between 1.2 and 1.5 million.
Right. So yeah, this is the kind of the data that you can get. Or another way to do it is, can you give me a exact street address of one of those areas we just explored?
Camps Bay Drive.
Is it Camps
Yeah.
Bay?
Yeah, so there we go. Perfect. Drive.
Right. So if you put the location and
I'm an
if you click,
arbitrager, and so I'm looking
or you're
to go into Cape Town, and I want to maximize the best opportunity. I'm going to choose the hotspot, right? And then I'm going to choose, look at, compare. Is there a way to say, I want to compare 1, 2, 3, 4 and bedrooms or plus, and see which has got the highest yield with the most demand? Has it got that kind of stuff?
got it. Yeah. So the best way to achieve it is by drawing a custom market. So we'll go to the Oceanside area in Cape Town.
Yeah, so there, exactly.
All right, so cam space here. So I'll draw.
Camps Bay, yeah, exactly.
So since you wanted to compare between different number of bedrooms revenue, I'll be
I want to find
defining a market.
which would be the best arbitrage.
Right. So even though you need to find the average rent price on your own from the property listing site, our dashboard will provide you the short-term rental average revenue for different number of bedrooms.
I mean, because you still need to go and negotiate with the owner to find the best long-term lease price, but this will tell you the potential that property can make, right?
Right. Yeah. So in this dashboard here, you can see 1 bedroom on average makes.
Where am I looking at? Where am I seeing the bedroom numbers? Okay, I've got you. I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So here's a 1 bedroom.
Yeah.
Making 720K, and 2 bedrooms making 1.2 millions.
Yeah.
3 bedroom, 2 millions.
Wow, it's a big jump. You can 3. Wow. Okay.
And yeah, 4 bedrooms, 5 bedrooms, and so on.
Okay.
Can also see which ones has the highest demands. So gym seems to be the feature that people seem to be looking for. So how we get this data is we do some analysis after normalizing the listings data to find out which kind of the amenities influence average daily rate or occupancy rate. So gym, pool, views, hot tub, fireplace are something people are looking for in this area. And looks like these are the amenities that doesn't have noticeable revenue impact. You can also see the distribution of the listings by number of bedrooms to see if there's any gaps. So there's 67 listings that has 6+ bedrooms and 260 listings with 1 bedrooms. You can see property types, how many are entire home, how many are private, and how many are condo. you can also see the cancellation policies. So strict cancellation policy is the most popular cancellation policy here. And you can see the distribution of the amenities as well. So breakfast, gym, hot tub seems to be very uncommon amenities in this area.
So you're saying it's very uncommon, meaning that the demand is more about gym. The above question was more about gym. It said, for example, gym was the most searched after, but the one that, but the actual amenities, meaning the actual listings, don't have that many gyms, is what you're saying. But the demand is the revenue by amenities, meaning that the demand is there for a gym, but the actual properties that don't have gyms, there's not very many. Am I understanding that correctly?
That's close. So this demand is coming from actual bookings. So the listings with the gym tend to get either more bookings or tend to charge higher fees, even if they have the same property specs.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, very few gyms, very few listings with gym, but the ones that have enjoy getting way more bookings or can charge higher fees.
Got you.
You can also see the distribution of the how many listings are running full time versus part time of the year.
Okay, got you.
You can see the cleaning fees and extra gas fees just to get the idea.
What does number of listings by capacity mean?
Right. So in your Airbnb, you can set how many maximum guests you can accommodate in your listing. So like 35% of the listings allow maximum 2 guests only. And only 13 listings allow 16 plus guests in this area.
So it looks like the sweet spot is between 4 and 6, because if you look on the bedrooms, 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom, it looked like it had the highest growth rate compared to the others.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, as you said, like 2 to 3 bedrooms has the
3 to
almost
4.
yeah. There are some like good amount of differences, but what this data shows you is not the demand but just the supply. So how many listings are there with these maximum guest policies?
So there's actually more it can apply 6 people, which is a 3-bedroom. So there's more supply of 3 bedrooms in the market. Or there's more supply of 2 bedrooms, for example, right? Sorry, 1 bedrooms, because they've got 2 people. But if we're looking at the next one from that, which charges the most money, is a 3-bedroom, because the 3-bedroom will sleep 6 people. And so if you look at the above data, sorry, I'm just talking it out just so other people can also understand what I'm thinking here. So it's a 6 people. If you look at the top of these graph, between 4 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and it's a 3 and 4 bedrooms, at the top, you will see that they are making the most amount of money necessarily, except 5 bedrooms seems to also be a very big spike in the daily fee. So there's quite a big jump between 5 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms in terms of the earning. I mean, 6 is obviously huge, 6 plus, but there is less in that market and it's less demand as well.
Right.
Am I understanding that correctly? But 3 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms seem to be like the kind of sweet spot there. But 5, obviously, with the revenue, quite a big jump there as well. It's almost double.
Yeah. So the full picture will be figured out after knowing the rent prices difference as well. But you can actually see the difference in the breakdown on why the revenues are different. So 3 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms. So the smaller bedrooms still get more bookings.
Yes.
With the exception of the 5 bedrooms. get more bookings than 4 bedrooms.
Which one would be the sweet spot?
So the sweet spot, we need to use, so what I'll be doing is using an Excel. So let me just do a demo.
If you want to carry on with the demo first and then get to that, that's fine. So I tend to jump all over the place as my questions come up, but please feel free to direct it if you want to continue a stage-by-stage demo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we can just walk through watch the sweet spot as well, because that's actually something people will be looking for if they're doing a rental arbitrage. So what you can do is revenue and number of bedrooms, 2, 3, 4, 5 bedrooms.
Is
and
there a
rent
function on your program?
No, we don't have that yet. Yeah. So you can do a like monthly revenue. So you can pull this data from our platform. So you can maybe find out like something like this. This is just a demo, and you can get the rent prices. So for the long-term rentals, and you can maybe see the
rent price
difference.
The rent price for an arbitrage being the actual cost, right? The cost to rent.
Right.
Got you.
Yep. So you can get these rent prices by maybe pulling the 5 listings in the area with the 2 bedrooms. So yeah, after doing this, so you can do something like subtract from B and C. So
B2 minus C2. Yeah.
right. So yeah, with this, so I'll say the gap price. The highest gaps are in 4 and 5 bedrooms. Then sweet spot is likely to be 4 and 5 bedrooms in these cases.
Yes.
So
okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I think actually that actually sums up what one can do.
Okay, let's scroll down to the bottom and just have a look there.
So we do show the daily occupancy rate data for the last 11 months in a calendar view. So you can see like how the occupancy rate is changing over the weekend versus weekday. And you can find out some patterns from this data. You can also see what's the average length of stay. So how long are they staying in different months of the year? Is the guests are coming from domestically versus internationally? So in this area, international guests, so guests coming from other countries in South Africa seems to be more common, and they seems to be coming from the US, Germany, and UK. You can also see which cities are they coming from, such as London, Cape Town, and Johannesburg. You can see what language they speak, like English, Germany, or French. And this feature, so we're still trying to find out the use cases for this. Some people are asking for it, but we are still trying to find how this can benefit people to start their Airbnb better. But yeah, this is now available in the Taylor region. This is available in the verified market, but you can see all the list of the Airbnb hosts here.
Submarkets, okay. Analyze listing and map. Okay, so other submarkets?
In case of Cape Town, it looks like we don't have much submarkets that's predefined. But if you keep creating the submarkets in Cape Town, so
you keep drawing different markets and saving them. In other words, you can create like different markets that you want to watch.
Yeah, exactly, something like that.
So as an investor or an arbitrager, I could draw different markets and say, right, I can then watch the data as it changes and say, oh, okay, this is the best market. Let's go there now.
Yeah, that's right. So actually, if you want to do this, it's better to actually start from the Cape Town. So this is the main market. And from here, you can see the submarkets. And yeah, as you said, like we can draw the submarkets within this area.
Yes.
Like this. Then yeah, later this will be reflected here. So if I refresh the page, I can see the submarkets that I just drew. So yeah, this is the market that you just drew. So you can continue doing the research like this. You can do it by number of bedrooms as well. So you can check how the revenue potentials or changes as you change the number of bedrooms here.
And can you save, like, let's say, so is that analyzing these the bedroom configuration in those submarkets? So if you, let's say, identify the submarkets, and you can then say, right, I want to see 2 bedrooms in all these submarkets because I can only afford 2 bedrooms, for example. Is that what I'm understanding?
So if you click 2 bedrooms here, this will show you the average revenue of the 2 bedrooms in each of the submarkets here.
Okay, great. And you can name the submarkets?
You can name the submarkets as well.
Okay, cool. That's a very useful tool.
Thank you. So, yep, this is for the product walkthrough.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing this. I think it's a great tool for people to use. And so where do people sign up?
From the airbtics.com. So from the homepage, they can sign up and start exploring markets. So we provide a lot of the data for free. So you can get basically like occupancy rate or daily rate like data for the markets mainly for free. But the advanced feature like some markets you need to subscribe.
Okay, wonderful. And all those details, as you know, community, are all available in the links down below. They'll be shared from there. And is there anything else that you feel that the community needs to know or understand about your software or products to support it and watch your growth?
Yeah, like just yeah, nothing much to add. Like if you have any feedbacks to product, I'm looking forward to hearing about those things. We are actively updating the product currently. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time, and look forward to watching your product grow into the near future.
Yeah, thank you for giving me a time to go through this product, Brinn. Thank you for this.